they'll embrace. So they beat us purposely so we can run. And we ran right into their arms. I wanted to bring out the fact that I know that Seventh-day Adventist teaches that the mark of the beast is Sunday law. I know that for a fact. I've sat down with Seventh-day Adventists. I've been to Seventh-day Adventist churches. I've operated with Seventh-day Adventists. Good people. One thing I can say about them, genuine and good people. I can't say that they would harm anyone. Okay? But my disagreement with the doctrine is that if you teach, and I spoke with them, if you teach that the Sabbath or the Sunday, Sunday law is a mark of the beast, then that means some Jehovah's Witnesses can be, not Jehovah's Witnesses, some Seventh-day Adventists can be walking around with a chip in their head or in their hand and be excused. If you're going to teach that the mark of the beast is the government instituting the the first day of the week, Sunday, as a law, then it goes away from what Satan is about to institute in the earth. And it's chipping every person like cattle. And one thing I couldn't understand, and I had that argument about 9-10 years ago, is that if it's Sunday law, how can that be attached to buying and selling? The majority of people are going to church on Sunday anyway. Only the people that are following the law, like Seventh-day Adventists and Hebrews and people that know what the Sabbath is, they're the only people that's not really going to church on Sunday. And still, the people that's going to church on Sunday, they can still buy or sell whether or not they go to church. They can still buy or sell. It has to be connected to an electronic financial system. So what we did was, it was interesting to me. I'm like, Sunday law, let me look into that. I've seen it online. I went to talk to Seventh-day Adventists. They dealt with me carefully. They was very respectful. That was fine. I'm like, let me look into that. I've never seen it from that angle. And then I went into the Greek. The Greek, it was a slam dunk. In the Greek, it says mark. Mark means the etching of the skin. That's a physical piercing of the skin. And it says to be received as a mark of servitude. So if you don't get this, you will not be able to operate and serve in a system. Now, then I related it to, all right, suppose I don't go to church on Sunday. Can I still buy and sell? Yes. But if the systems of the one world government purposely flatline all societies and governments, if they purposely bankrupt each country like they're doing financially and turning these countries eventually into third world countries, which is the plan, and destroy the people, once they flatline and take the money out of the system, they can actually institute a system in which you can spend the way you're used to. How many of you got debit cards on you? Almost everybody. So you're already used to spending without cash. So if they can use the war on terrorism to tell people that, listen, we have to know who's who, we didn't take money out of the system because the terrorists are using dirty money and unlaundered money to spend and plot against the government, they can take that same credit that's on your card and put it right here. And say, listen, if you're not a terrorist, you don't have anything to worry about. What you got to hide? You're used to spending without cash anyway. We're taking money out of the system. It takes too much to print money anyway. Now, if you want to buy or sell, you come down, go to your doctor, or go to your DMV, or that's what we have in the United States, where your driver licenses is, or go to your local authorities and get your card injected. Through your national database, we have your birth certificate, we have your Social Security card, we have your medical records. Barack Obama already signed that into law through the health care bill. That this is actually part of the bill that was signed for the health care bill. So the people that have their welfare, or those that have their Medicare or Medicaid, their medical assistance, they have to get it all on one database. So I don't know about Sunday's law. I know that this is about to be instituted through Verichip. I know that. And I know that based on what the Seventh-day Adventists have taught me, that they're not saying that this is the mark of the beast. So it will be a conscious decision on those that are Seventh-day Adventists to decide whether or not they want to get chipped. Because they're being taught within their doctrine that this is not the mark of the beast. All right? Now, I wanted to bring that up. Now, you brothers are Seventh-day Adventists. Right? And I need someone to explain to me how this is not the mark of the beast. And I will not interrupt you.
How does that relate to worship?
It's a badge of servitude. You're purposely bowing to Satan's system. That's how it relates to worship. You don't have to go into a building to worship. People worship him all the time. People be in clubs dancing, worshiping Bacchus. You don't have to be in a building to worship. Your action, your activity shows a sign of worship. That's why it says as a badge of servitude.
Is it similar to the way that people celebrate Christmas? They think it's for one reason, but you're really celebrating and worshiping
yes.
God.
Yeah, a person don't have to go to church on Sunday to be worshiping Christmas. That's a perfect example. They got a tree in their house. They got all the things it takes to do with Christmas. They're going out shopping. They're in the spirit of Christmas. So everyone being in the spirit of dealing with this particular spending system is worshiping the beast. Because the beast is presenting or giving this source of spending to society. And they trick the people by making you think that this will not be instituted until an antichrist is revealed. When Paul told us in Thessalonians that the antichrist was working back then. You're waiting for one man, and the majority of the seats you have within this earth are antichrist. It's the antichrist government. The beast is a government. And through the New World Order, they're looking to mark every man, woman, and child like cattle. They've tested this on dogs. They've tested it. And also, check this out. It tells you in Revelations that on those that had the mark of the beast, it was a sign of what they had because they broke out a grievous sore. Now, how can I get a sore from not going to church on Sunday? But in an article in the Washington Post last year, it showed people who had the chip injected getting infected with cancer. The people that was tested with this chip. RFID is the mark of the beast. There's no other way you can track people on an international grid. No other way. How can you make, what you going to take roll for everyone that come into the church on Sunday? How do you know who's not following? It's an electronic grid. And John, the Revelator, seen this. The technology that we see today was not during John's time. To let you know the wickedness of the religions that have enslaved our people. They knew it would come a time that this technology would be on the earth. And already had it in their doctrine to consciously allow their followers to get this. Consciously. The people that set up these religions, I'm talking about Seventh-day Adventists, I'm talking about Jehovah's Witnesses, I'm talking about Baptists, you can go down the line.